If Derrick Henry is playing in this game, and if he is healthy, the line is what, Furman?
You're looking at the Rams, a 6-point favorite. I do think the market has overcompensated a little bit, especially through a key number, even for a running back as valuable as Derrick Henry, who represents more than 70% of the rushing yards for the Titans, going all the way back, I think, to 2018. There's not even a running back that represents more than 60% of what his team has been able to accomplish on the ground, given King Henry's prowess. But before we get into some of the exact breakdown in this, Clay, I just want to know, were your Super Bowl deposits for the fancy restaurants and hotels in Southern California, were those refundable if the Titans don't get there, or are you already locked into that deposit amid the hopeful optimism that the Titans were going to have a chance to play for the Lombardi Trophy?
You know, I think I'm going to be in LA no matter what, because we're going to have a lot of different media obligations at Outkick. But the question is, honestly, it'll save me a lot of money. Will my wife and kids be there or not? Because if the Titans aren't in the Super Bowl, they won't be there. You know, I went down to the World Series. I've made a lot of promises to my kids that have come to cost me money. I said, thinking it would probably not happen, that, hey, if the Titans ever play in London, we'll go over and watch. Titans played in London. We went over and watched.
You've done that, yep.
I said, hey, to my son when he was really upset a couple of years ago about the Braves. You remember when the Braves got run by the Cardinals in Game 5? They were down like 10-0 in the first inning at Truist Park. My son was really upset then, and I said, hey, you know what? If the Braves ever make it to the World Series, we'll be there. So World Series, Braves, we were there. And I've told the boys, as they've had a lot of disappointing Titans performances over the years, hey, if they go, we will be there in person. I'll get tickets. So there's no telling how much it would cost in L.A. For a Titans World Series ticket. It's not exactly like there's a lot of poor people in L.A. And, you know, Super Bowl tickets are never cheap. But I feel like that's probably a place where it would be extremely expensive no matter what. But so it would actually save me money if the Titans don't make the playoffs. You got 3 kids and a wife. Plus, I'd probably offer my parents tickets. Like, before all is said and done, I'm going to end up owing tens of thousands of dollars over this thing.
I mean, this is where you take on the same approach that Mattress Mac has had down there in Houston. You bet the Titans to win the Super Bowl, or at least win the
covered.
AFC.
Yeah.
So you're covered either way. I mean, worst case scenario, you lose a crumb or two, you know, betting on your apps, and you have the nut sitting aside so you can take the entire family and everyone in your lovely area to the game. But
not a bad idea.
When you're looking at some of the X's and O's, though, I think the big question I'll have here is the Titans defense. We've seen them make market improvement. Harold Landry has been outstanding in terms of his sack total, but I think this is the game where that secondary that we're not quite sure can perform without key contributors in Christian Fulton and Caleb Farley will get tested on early downs, especially if Matthew Stafford is 100% and out there. So I'm not running to lay the 7.5 with the Rams, and as the price continued to leak up, I can see making a case for the Titans. We always seem to get in the National Football League that one-game bump for a team playing without its superstar. I mean, we saw it last Sunday night in the Dallas Cowboys-Minnesota Vikings game. We'll see exactly how Jordan Love responds in the absence of Aaron Rodgers. So in one-game setting without a running back, I think the Titans will be just fine, but a lot more of the responsibility will fall on Ryan Tannehill's shoulders.
Do you think your average fan, I do think the answer is yes, would expect that Derrick Henry would be more than 1.5 point impact on a line?
Oh, 100%. And I think we saw some of that, and even the betting market this time last week, and how it responded to the absence of Devontae Adams. I mean, they've adjusted a full field goal for him not being out there. And we talk all the time. I mean, the historical data is out there that no wide receiver or running back should be worth more than 2 points, especially from a one-game setting. Now, there are obviously situations based on opponent where you're going to want to try and adjust a little bit more aggressively, potentially. And if the Titans offense looks like complete and utter garbage on Sunday night and does for subsequent weeks, then we can begin to realize that, hey, look, Adrian Peterson and Jeremy McNichols aren't exactly the 1-2 punch that can force defenses to respect what Tennessee wants to do. But the other storyline here and reason for a little bit of optimism, at least it appears that Julio Jones is trending in the right direction. Because being down 2 cogs in the offense, that's going to be a tall task, knowing that Jalen Ramsey could be out there locking down, A.J. Brown, forcing a bunch of no-name skill position guys for the Titans to be different.